Report writing. Reports are written to describe in detail an event or a match, or an accident or a crime, or any other situation. While writing a report, the writer's own views or prejudices or beliefs must not interfere, and only factual information must be given. A report must basically contain the following features. The headline must be specific and precise. The brief details of the reporter, such as name and designation, must be mentioned. The place and the date must be given. It should give factual information with all the significant details. It should answer questions when, what, where, how, and who. The views of people can be mentioned. Formal style must be maintained. Conclusion with some suggestions, if needed, must be given. Diary writing. Format of diary. Date, day and time. Note, day and time are optional. 29 July, Saturday, time 12 noon. Salutation, Dear Diary. Opening sentence, a general sentence describing the day or a momentary feeling. We landed at Florida yesterday evening. As per our plan, we were to visit Disney World today. Body, details of the event or experience and your feelings or reaction. I was so excited that I could not sleep the whole night. I had heard and read so much about it. And now that we were actually going to the place I had dreamed of all these years, I couldn't believe that it was going to happen. I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning before anyone else. We all took our shower, quickly dressed up, and a hurried breakfast, and set course for the Disney World. Our tickets were already purchased, so we did not have to stand in a queue. We started off with Mission Space located at Epcot Center. What a ride it was! Frankly speaking, I was a bit nervous when the stimulated lift-off and flight started, but I did not want anyone to notice that. In a few seconds, I had got accustomed to the feeling and began to enjoy my ride into space. I felt like a little astronaut. After that, we went to various other sections. My brothers enjoyed the Haunted Mansion the most, but I liked the Pirates of the Caribbean the most. It is supposed to be a landmark achievement in storytelling, not to forget the Mountain Splash experience. I would recommend this ride to all my friends. The handshake with Mickey Mouse was great. By evening, we were tired and got back to our hotel to rest. Conclusion. Final remark or future course of action. Now I'm looking forward to visit to Cinderella's castle tomorrow. Shall share my experiences with you then. Sign off. Yours, Wimpy. Dear Diary, today I stayed back after school to practice cricket for the forthcoming inter-school tournament. Our physical education teacher was bowling to each one of us in turns. When my turn came, I swung the bat with such force that the ball went like a missile and hit him on his nose. Next moment, I saw him bleeding profusely. He sat down holding his nose and groaning in pain. I was worried. All of us ran to him to help him. I cried and apologized as all eyes turned towards me as though accusing me. I was sobbing and kept repeating that I did not do anything on purpose. I offered to take him to the hospital, but the next moment he got up and patted me on my back and said, "Don't worry, such things happen in a game." I said, "Next time I'll be careful not to hit the ball so hard, sir." To this he replied, "Don't be silly, Paul. I will be okay. You carry on with the game as usual." Later, he explained to all of us that players should only focus on their game. And if an accident like this were to happen to anyone, we should not feel repentant and lose focus on our game. There will always be someone to take care of the injured on the field. If at all you feel bad, then you can look up your friend after the game, but at no cost should it affect the quality of your game. Indeed, this is the greatest lesson I learned today. Yours, Paul. Paragraph writing. A paragraph is a group of sentences dealing with our main idea. that is contained in the first sentence only. Rest of the paragraph expands and explains the main idea to be concluded with a summary of the details of the paragraph. Steps to be followed. Choose a topic, develop a topic sentence, expand and explain the idea with a few details, conclude the paragraph in the last sentence, summarizing the explanation, repeating certain key words used therein. Read and review what you have written to check for any errors. Essential features. Unity. The paragraph should talk about only one idea and all sentences should have a direct connection to the specific idea. Order. The details should be arranged logically and sequentially. Variety. The paragraph should consist of a variety of sentences. Example 1. A house on fire. As I was sleeping one night, I heard loud cries of, "Fire! Fire!" I got up in panic thinking there was fire in the house. I rushed to the window and saw the building opposite my house on fire. The people in the building were running out, crying, "Fire! Fire!" I could see sparks flying all around. We were surrounded by black smoke and scorching heat. The fire brigade arrived within 5 minutes. The ground floor was almost completely burned. The fire was going up to the first floor of the building. The firemen tried their best and were able to bring it under control in half an hour. The sight of the half-burnt building was very disturbing, but thankfully no life was lost in this fire. Even today, when I remember that scene of the burning building, I feel disturbed and distressed. Example 2. Write a short paragraph describing a village scene, making use of the hints given below. Mud houses, narrow lanes, no drains, no plan. Important persons, the banker, the patwari, the school teacher. Chief places of interest, a temple, a mosque, a gurdwara, a banyan tree, school, a fair. Children playing in the streets, a pond, an open ground. My village. When I went to visit my grandparents in our ancestral village, I was fascinated by small and big houses made of mud. They were beautifully decorated on the inside, but the narrow and stinking lanes outside the houses disappointed me. This was my first visit to the village. My grandfather was the patwari of the village, so their house was a big house with all necessary facilities. The important people of the village, like the village priest, the school teacher, etc., visited my grandfather regularly. My grandmother took me around the village and showed me the temple, mosque and gurudwara all around a huge banyan tree. There was a large open area for the village children to play in. Except for the unplanned buildings of houses and lack of drainage, the village was a beautiful place to be in. Letter writing. Letters are of two types, formal and informal. Formal letters are written for formal purposes to address serious issues to the editor of a newspaper, a government official, the police, to the principal, companies or organization, etc. Format of a formal letter. Sender's address, date, receiver's address, salutation, greetings. Subject, text of the letter, complimentary, close, sender's signature, sender's name in capital letters, in brackets, sender's designation, if any. Example 1. Letter to the editor of a newspaper on careless driving. 15 Ring Road, Delhi, November 10. The editor, Hindustan Times, New Delhi, 110001. Sir. Subject, careless and rash driving. Kindly publish my concern over careless and rash driving of cars and other vehicles on the roads of our city, in the columns of your esteemed newspaper, in the interest of general public and for the authorities to take some action. The careless driving, especially by the modern youth, is a great nuisance for everyone. It is a great danger to the school-going children, to the old people who can't cross the roads quickly, and to the other vehicle drivers too. We come across several accidents on the roads on a daily basis due to this rash driving. The drivers hit someone or the other and escape from the scene. The police is helpless and sometimes is not able to track down the erring drivers, or the punishment is not severe enough to discourage the offenders. I hope you will do the needful in creating awareness among the officials and general public in this regard. Yours sincerely, ABC, a concern. Example 2. Application to the school principal with the request for a new iCard. 12 Model Town, Delhi, October 10. The principal, XYZ School, Model Town, Delhi. Respected ma'am, subject, request for the issuance of a new iCard. I am Naveen Kumar, a student of class 10 of your school. I wish to inform that I have misplaced my iCard somewhere during the shifting of my residence last week. You are earnestly requested to arrange the issuance of a new iCard to me, to enable me to move on with my routine schoolwork and oblige. Your obedient student, Naveen, Class 10A. Informal letters are returned to close acquaintances, friends, family and relatives in an informal and personal tone and language. Format of an informal letter. Sender's address, date, greetings, text of the letter, complimentary close, signature. Example. Write a letter to your friend describing an accident of the bus in which you were traveling. 21C, Malvinagar, New Delhi, 20 December. Dear Sumit, hi, how are you? Hope everything is fine at your end. I'm writing to tell you about an accident I had while traveling to Ludhiana to meet my grandparents. I was traveling by bus. The bus started off on time and I was really excited and was looking forward to meet my grandparents after such a long time. I had taken up my favorite seat next to the driver. At about an hour into the journey, a truck laden with iron rods suddenly came up from the behind. The driver was blowing the horn as he wanted to overtake the bus. The bus driver slowed down to let the truck pass. However, as the truck came from behind, its driver lost control of the vehicle and hit the bus from the side. As a result, the windshield of the bus shattered and several passengers were thrown off their seats. Most of them sustained injuries, some of them serious. I had hit my head on the back of the driver's seat and sustained a deep cut on my forehead. There was screaming all around. Soon, the police arrived and the injured were taken to a nearby hospital. I had to stay in the hospital for a couple of hours. Later, when I arrived at my grandparents' home with a bandage around my head, they were very worried. However, they were relieved to know that I was all right. I am okay now. Please don't worry about me. Give my regards to uncle and auntie. Yours affectionately, Kamal. Essay writing. Essay writing is a piece of writing that expresses general information and the writer's own opinion on a given topic. An essay can be formal as well as informal. Most important points to be kept in mind while writing an essay are the content and expression. Keep the coda technique in mind while writing a long composition. Study and understand this technique carefully. C. Collect your ideas. O. Organize the ideas. D. Draft a write-up. E. Edit your first draft. R. Rewrite the final draft after editing. There are many types of essays depending on what the writer wants to convey to the reader. The definitions of common types of essays are given below. Narrative essays. These are essays where the writer is narrating an incident or story throughout the essay. The idea is to involve the reader, so such essays should be as real as possible. Descriptive essays. In such types of essays, the writer describes a place, an event, an object or maybe a memory, thereby painting an image, a picture with words. Reflective essays. These are essays where the writer describes a real or imaginary scene, event, interaction, passing thought, etc., adding a personal reflection on the meaning of whatever is being presented. Argumentative essays. Here, the purpose of the essay is to get the reader to your side of the argument. It is an attempt to convince the reader of the writer's important, but both scales of the argument have to be presented in the essay. Imaginative essays. The imagination and creative aspect of the writer's ability comes in use when writing such essays. The writer can imagine anything and express his thoughts, opinions, mixed with facts to write imaginative essays. Persuasive essays. A persuasive essay is a type essay where the writer tries to convince the reader to agree with his or her point of view or opinion on a specific topic. It represents arguments and reasons to support the writer's position. Expository essay. An expository essay is a type of essay that explains, describes, or provides information about a topic without trying to persuade the reader. It aims to inform the reader by presenting facts, details, and explanations. Example 1. Narrative essay. A morning walk. I take my morning walk regularly. I start at 5:30 a.m. to go to the deer park, quite close to my house. Leaving my house last Saturday, enjoying the cool, fresh air of the early dawn, I felt refreshed. I enjoyed the freedom in the park, the rustling of the leaves, the cool breeze, the singing of the birds. Everything felt heavenly. I walked for a while and sat down near the canal for some time. The calm and silence of the surroundings brought peace to my mind. I seemed to live a new life, a different life. I felt light and fresh. By this time, the sun could be seen rising in the east. Everything was bathed in the golden light. It was time to go home. On my way, I saw the school children standing at their bus stops, waiting for their school buses to arrive. Parents seemed anxious to ensure that their children boarded the buses safely, and then they could get ready for their offices. I reached home around 7 a.m. to start my day at work. Example 2. Descriptive essay. A football match. Football is an interesting game. It helps provide a good physical exercise as well as training of the will and intellect. Recently, I watched a fine match between the two best teams of Delhi. The stadium was full of excited spectators. The match started at 5:30 p.m. In the first half, the match was rather slow. Team A seemed a bit overconfident of its victory and therefore did not take Team B seriously. In the last 5 minutes of the first half of the game, Team B played very well and scored 2 quick goals. The crowd was ecstatic. After an interval of 10 minutes, the game started again. Team A tried its level best to score a goal, but Team B was playing very well and did not give any chance to Team A. The game was played at a very fast pace. The team captain, Rahul of Team A, played an outstanding game, but due to the inefficiency of Atul, Team A lost a number of chances to score goals. The match ended with Team B winning 2-0. Example 3. Reflective essay. Sounds in the dark night. I woke up in the dark to the sounds of footsteps outside my bedroom door. I was scared. I did not have the energy to get up from the bed and see who it was. I kept lying quietly, waiting for more sounds. I heard a flurry of sounds outside the door. Was it a soft knock on the door, or was it the sound of scratching at the door? I couldn't understand. My heart started thumping loudly. Yes, I was scared, very scared. My mind had stopped working in the last few moments. I tried to calm myself. I tried to think. I tried to gather courage. I realized I had a mobile phone on the bedside table. I picked it up quickly and dialed my dad's number. No response, no response. I then bravely got up, tiptoed to the door, pressed my ear against the door, and heard a mewing sound. Oh, that means there was a cat outside. I quickly opened the door, and there I saw my dad, mom, and friends with a surprised look on their faces. They shouted, "Happy birthday to you!" I was completely taken aback and much relieved. It was the most amazing midnight birthday party I have ever had in my life. Example 4. Argumentative essay. Importance of newspaper. Newspapers are one of the most important means of communication. The chief function of a newspaper is to provide update of news from all newspapers, keep the readers connected to the entire world. Every kind of person can find something of his or her interest in the newspapers. The editors write articles expressing their viewpoints about current affairs and can even mold the public opinion in whichever direction they want. They, therefore, carry a massive responsibility on their shoulders. The government of a country has to keep its eyes and ears open to what is being published. It sometimes may need to take stern action against the newspapers if they go against the ethics. The newspapers can do a lot of good or bring a lot of harm to a country, to the people. By supporting the government policies, it can make them successful or even cause them to fail by going against them. Example 5. Imaginative essay. Anyone can become a king. My name is Ape. I am a monkey, but I feel like a human. That is because I have lived with humans for 3 years, the first 3 years of my life. It was a good experience where I learned to care for people and also learned the English language. Today, I cannot speak it, but with my monkey clan and other animals, I can communicate easily. From an early age, I wanted to become the king of place like the lions were kings of the jungles. When the human beings left me in the Uttarakhand jungles, I was very sad for some time. Lions were the kings at that time. At that time, the name of the king was King Khalidi. He was a fair and just king. Liked by all the animals, even I liked him because he said anybody can become a king. Let me clarify here that he was a very dominating king and did not allow any animal to raise their voice against him. Even though I tried to win over some of the animals, I was also not able to outsmart him and have had to live under his kingship all my life. Example 6. Persuasive essay. Climate change, protecting our planet's future. Climate change is a significant topic that affects our planet. It refers to long-term changes in the Earth's temperature, rainfall patterns, and weather conditions. In this essay, we will learn about climate change, its causes, and what we can do to protect our planet. Understanding climate change. Climate change is caused by human activity that releases harmful gases into the air. These gases are called greenhouse gases. They trap heat from the sun and make the earth warmer. The main greenhouse gas is carbon dioxide. It is released when we burn fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas. Causes of climate change. Human activities are the main cause of climate change. Vehicles, factories, etc. release gases into the air. Cutting down trees, deforestation adds to the problem because trees help absorb carbon dioxide. Effects of climate change. Climate change affects our planet in many ways. Some of these are discussed below. Changing weather. Climate change affects our weather patterns. It can make some places hotter or colder. It can also cause more storms and floods. Melting ice. Climate change causes ice in cold places like the Arctic and Antarctic to melt. This in turn causes the sea levels to rise, leading to floods in coastal areas. Loss of habitats. Animals and plants are affected by climate change too. Some animals aren't able to find enough food or places to live because their habitats are changing or destroyed. Agriculture and food. Climate change can affect the way we grow our food. Changes in temperature and rainfall can make it more difficult for farmers to grow crops, leading to food shortages. Health risks. Climate change can affect our health. Heat waves can make people sick or dehydrated. Changes in weather can affect the spread of diseases. Protecting our planet. We can all play a part in protecting our planet from climate change. Here are some actions we can take. Saving energy. Use less electricity by turning off lights and appliances when not needed. Walk, use the cycle or share rides instead of using cars when possible. Planting trees. Trees help absorb carbon dioxide. Therefore, plant more trees and support reforestation efforts. Recycling and reusing. Reduce waste by recycling materials like paper, plastic and glass. Reuse items instead of throwing them away. Conserving water. Use water wisely. Turn off taps when not in use and fix any leaks. Conserve water while bathing or brushing teeth. Spreading awareness. Talk to your friends and family about climate change. Encourage them to take small steps to protect the environment. Let's protect our planet from climate change. We can do this by using less energy, recycling, conserving water, planting trees, and spreading awareness. Together, we can create a better and healthier world for ourselves and future generations. Example 7. Expository essay. The effects of social media on our lives. Social media has become an integral part of our lives. It has revolutionized the way we connect and communicate with others. It has its advantages, but it also brings certain drawbacks that we need to be aware of. This essay aims to highlight the impact of social media on our lives. Positive effects of social media. Social media platforms allow us to connect with friends, family, and colleagues around the globe. It helps us stay in touch, share experiences, and strengthen relationships. Social media provides a vast platform for sharing news, information, and raising awareness about various social issues. It enables us to stay updated and learn about different perspectives. Many people use social media to display their talents, creativity, and unique ideas. It offers a platform for self-expression, allowing people to share their thoughts, opinions, and creative work. Negative effects of social media. Social media can be addictive. Spending too much time on social media may have a negative impact on productivity, concentration, and overall well-being. Unfortunately, social media platforms are also prone to cyberbullying and online harassment. People may use the anonymity social media provides to engage in harmful behavior. This may affect the mental and emotional well-being of individuals. Social media often depicts an idealized version of people's lives, leading to social comparison. Constant exposure to such content may create a feeling of low esteem and a distorted perception of reality. Sharing personal information on social media can pose privacy risks. We need to be careful about the information we share on social media. Managing the effects. It is important to balance the time spent on social media with other activities. Setting limits for social media usage can help maintain a healthy balance. We must know how the difference between reliable information and misinformation on social media. We must verify facts and sources before accepting information at face value. We must take adequate online safety measures. This includes protecting personal information, setting strong passwords, and reporting wrong or suspicious behavior. We must realize that social media often presents an idealized version of reality. This realization can help people maintain a healthy self-esteem. In this context, focusing on personal growth and real-life relationships is important. Social media has changed the way we connect and communicate. However, it has positive and negative effects. By understanding how social media affects us, we can use it in a way that is beneficial to us and avoid its problems. This will help us have a balanced and positive experience online. Writing a book review. A book review is a descriptive and critical evaluative account of a book. It provides a summary of the content, accesses, assesses the value of the book and recommends it or not to other potential readers. How to write a book review. Start with a couple of sentences describing what the book is about. Discuss what you particularly liked about the book. Mention anything you dislike about the book. Round up your review. You can give the book a rating, for example, a mark out of 5 or 10. Stink, stench, smell, odor, fragrance, aroma. Stink and stench are only used for bad smells. Smell on its own means a bad smell, but we can add an adjective to it and say sweet smell or pleasant smell. Odor is a fairly neutral word, but it can be used negatively. Fragrance and aroma are used for pleasant smells only. Prefixes and suffixes. Prefixes. A prefix is a syllable, syllables, placed before a word to qualify its meaning and form a new word. Examples: a bridge, anew, ahead, ashore. Ab, abnormal. Al, almost, alone, already, almighty. Anti, antibiotic, antisocial. Auto, autobiography, auto-rickshaw. B, belittle, beside. Bi, bi-weekly, bicycle. Co, coexist, cooperate. Counter, counteract, counterpart. Deface, decompose. Dismantle, disobedient. Empower, embody. Enable, entrust. Extra, extraordinary, extracurricular. Forehead, foretell. Illegal, illogical. Impolite, impossible. Insecure, inability. Irregular, irresponsible. Minibus, minicab. Misfortune, misunderstand. Multipurpose, multimillionaire. Non-vegetarian, non-profitable. Outdoor, outline. Postcard, post-war. Prefix, prehistory. Semicircle, semi-solid. Submarine, sub-inspector. Ultra-modern, ultraviolet. Unhappy, untie. Underestimate, underhand. Suffixes. A suffix is a syllable, syllables, placed at the end of a word to qualify its meaning and form a new word. Suffix can be used to form nouns, adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. Examples: nouns: age, shortage, bondage. Approval, arrival. Ants, assistants, dependents. Ant, consultant, inhabitant. Asian, formation, civilization. Dumb, kingdom, freedom. Full, handful, mouthful. Hood, childhood, brotherhood. Itty, tea, majority, reality. Meant, movement, treatment. Ness, happiness, kindness. Ship, friendship, hardship. Truth, width. Tude, attitude, multitude. Failure, pleasure. Examples, adjectives: able, bull, readable, terrible. Approval, arrival. Indian, Republican. Fortunate, accurate. Obedient, confident. Scientific, specific. Full, careful, useful. Us, ambitious, famous. Ish, childish, Polish. Active, festive. Less, harmless, senseless. Like, childlike, businesslike. Illy, manly, kindly. Some, handsome, quarrelsome. Worthy, trustworthy, praiseworthy. Examples: Verbs. 8. Dictate, motivate. L. Twinkle, sprinkle. N. Brighten, strengthen. Ify, beautify, glorify. Ish, perish, cherish. Is, realize, criticize. Examples. Adverbs. Ly, easily, hardly. Long, headlong, sidelong. Word, upward, backward. Wise, clockwise, otherwise.